What up, everybody? Um, Been a long time since I made a video. And yes, I know I said that when or if I ever did come back, I'd end up talking about video games I'm looking forward to or wanting to get. But nonetheless, though, um, at the end of the day, I gotta go ahead and just, call it for what it is when it's all said and done. You see, a lot of people know that Lolitard is back to his same old antics, making videos and live streams pretty much every day, and then he claims that people live on the internet. Okay. Yeah. He's got enough time to go live every single day. Yeah, he claims that we're the ones that live on the internet, like for real. I ain't been active in like a week? I think that was the last time I made an actual video. And it was basically ranting about the whole GTA situation, which has only gotten worse, by the way. And they're getting lots of negative feedback by multiple people, multiple outlets, and whatnot. And you know what? Rightfully so. So, yeah. But nonetheless, though, I'm going to go ahead and address something here. Because, I've listened to this weeaboo, this pred, this zoophile, basically run his mouth and everything in a very poorly articulated, autistic, mentally retarded kind of way, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. But, anyway, though, he's still upset because people point out that he supports Lolicon, which he does. Let's just keep it real on that. He can sit there and claim he does it, can make all the lame-ass excuses and everything else, and the really weak comparisons. If you watch Bluey, you're just as bad as someone that watches Lolicon. Like, he's a fucking idiot. That's what I'm saying. Only a total mental retard would try to use a comparison like that. Let's just keep it real. But the thing is, it's like I've said several times before. If he really saw Lolicon as nothing more than a fictional drawing and nothing more, and didn't, see it, and really didn't see it as anything that you should be supporting or anything like that, then he never would have vilified me or anything whatsoever when I made that video a few years ago giving my own honest opinion regarding Lolicon. Because again, I didn't mention no names or nothing within that video. I could have been talking about anybody. I could have been referring to anyone. Because here's the thing. Daniel's not the only one who's been guilty of supporting or, defending Lolicon. Knowing full well of what it really is. Oh, I made a video a long time ago, back before I even knew what it was. Again, it was like a hot second type of thing. A mistake or whatever, rather. So, yeah. I didn't spend several years defending it and justifying it and everything like what Daniel did. It was like a one-time video. Just a hot minute situation. Basically like what it was for that whole Stanley Bell situation here a while back. When I didn't even know what kind of person he was like. I hadn't seen no videos or anything. People claim that I watch all their videos and their content. No, not really. There's a lot of times I may be in the chat long enough to say, hey, what's up? And then I may stay around for maybe another 5 minutes or so. And then after that, I'm pretty much, headed off to go play whatever video game it is I want to play, or go on a walk, or play with my dog, or, do some kind of chores around the house. And, yeah. Because my work is during the daytime when no one's live, so, yeah. Like my actual jobs and everything, so yeah. But nonetheless, though, at the end of the day, yeah, if he really didn't support Lolicon and all that stuff, he never would have vilified me the way he did over it. It wasn't just a simple situation of him trying to start some shit with me in my comments section, because I just simply blocked him and was gonna move on. He had already cut me off and basically started his own little witch hunt on Jordan's stream. So I'm like, whatever, man, I'm done with you. We'll just leave it at that. That's why I went ahead and blocked him. He's going to move on, be done with it. Oh, that wasn't good enough for him. So he had to go and try to drag Roar, some people call him Pinhead Larry or whatever, but it's whatever. You know, he tried dragging Jordan and a few others into his little witch hunt after me and everything, which did nothing but backfire and blow up in his face. You know, causing everybody to pretty much, you know, say hell with him and everything. You know, he tried making me his new otaku, basically. He tried making me his new obsession, is what it was. So, yeah. And, so yeah. But it's like, oh, now he's like, oh, well, now that I know what it is, people tried telling you for years, you fucktard. Like, for real. Of what it really was and everything. You didn't want to listen. Instead, you kept trying to justify it, you kept trying to defend it and everything else. Like, it doesn't matter what you say now at this point. You have defended Lolicon for so long that you are literally going to be branded as Lollyboy. Like, permanently lifetime branded as Lollyboy. There is no coming back from that. Speaking of things that you can't come back from, because I also found it funny when you claim that you people have shit and done worse than I have. Really, none of us have ever tried to pressure some woman to strip down naked in front of us and our sick, weird friends, like what you have there, Daniel. Yeah. No one should forget what you tried to put Vamster through. Just saying. You know. None of us have ever told a minor, oh, you're sexy as fuck. And then when she informs us that she's a minor, you know, we don't sit there and still continue to try to flirt with her and everything like what you did with that minor that you called sexy as fuck. And you can say it was a mistypo all you want. Anyone with a single working brain cell knows better. Same thing when it comes to you wanting a girl to show her coochie. Oh, I didn't know what a coochie was. Bullshit. Just like how you didn't know what lolicon was? Okay. Like, for real, no one's buying your bullshit lies. I think even Awan's starting to get a little fed up with your nonsense because you're a liability. You're causing him to get harassed too with your antics and whatnot. So, yeah. It's kind of it's funny he's throwing a fit. You walk back about him not wanting to join a live stream. Well, I wouldn't want to join one of your streams either if I'm going to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. But here's the thing. Let's say, for argument's sake, you really have learned what lolicon is, and now because of that, you really don't support it or anything. Okay, fine. It still doesn't change the fact, dude, that you literally tried sexualizing my dog, you sick zoophile. Like, for real. So, yeah. Oh, she heard that I referenced her, or mentioned her, so now she's coming over here trying to get some attention. I know, you're a big baby. You know. Not as big of a baby as what Daniel is, but you're still a big baby. Yes, you are. Anyway, though, that's pretty much all I've got to say, though, dude. So you can sit there and continue to be claim you're the victim and everything else. It's whatever at this point. But here's something else. Because I have seen you do the same thing that I see a lot of these online preds do. Where they try to use God and religion and the Bible and scriptures and everything as some kind of shield. You know, to try to hide their true disgusting nature and whatnot. The exact same sick shit you're doing. You know, that's blasphemous, to be honest. Just saying. But the thing is, though, you can't claim to be a man of God or a Christian or anything if you're going to sit there and call people the homophobic F slur, the N-word, the hard ER, or other type of racial, you know, remarks and whatnot. You know, you can't be a racist and a homophobe and a transphobe and all this other stuff and also wishing death on people and things like that if you're going to claim to be a Christian. Just saying, you're supposed to love everybody. You spread love, not spread hate. And that's all you've been doing, dude, is spreading hate. Just being honest on that. You know. Am I going to sit here and say, oh, I'm a man of God at the moment or anything? No, not really. I'm not. You know, I'll admit that. But that's the thing. Unlike you, I've always been able to humble myself and own up to my shit. Something you'll never know anything about. So yeah, that's the reason why for people like me, it is easier for people to overlook some of the mistakes I made. Because I'm actually apologetic for my shit. I actually own up to my shit. And I still hold myself accountable for the mistakes I made. Something you don't do and you'll never know anything about. Because you really do lack the brain capacity. So, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless and peace. And seriously, Daniel, Everything you say you wish to happen to people, you know what? Well, show us how it's performed. Go drink some bleach and show us how that's done. Like for real.